we gonna keep it between me and you. I lost the earring, y'all. I don't know where I lost it, but I lost it. It's Monday. How y'all doing? It's a new week, a new day to pray and play. How y'all doing? As y'all saw Friday, I had a meltdown. I didn't really go on camera with it, but I let y'all know I was mentally incapable of filming simply because I was having a mild episode of imposter syndrome. Basically, y'all know imposter syndrome is when you try your hardest to be a perfectionist, or really come off like your life is together, and really an imposter syndrome be like, no, it's not, you ain't doing good, you know what I'm saying? So then you have doubts within yourself. That is basically when doubts gets the best of you. And before I had started filming, I had a very intense conversation with someone, and my mind wasn't right when I started filming, so it kind of got the best of me, and it won. So I'm back in therapy now. Yeah, I'm back in therapy. I don't actually see a therapist, but I read therapist books. And my thing is, I have been battling with my emotions as far as trying to control them from getting the best of me when it comes to completing tasks, like we all do. Like, we're groomed to get up and go to work and pay the bills because we know that's what we got to do, but in reality we don't want to do that shit. And that's what I be saying when it comes to trying to do things on your own. It could be challenging simply because, for one, you don't have the support that you really want. Two, you're 100% reliant on yourself. And three, no work is going to get done if you don't do it. So being that I'm in that phase of my life right now to change my life I'm changing. I'm in the process of changing. It's changed. And I'm keeping it flowing. And you kind of, like I said, it's a lonely journey. So with that, it was just like I said, the conversation prior to that led me down that path, and it just kind of put a lot of stuff on my mind, because you can't escape reality. At the end of the day, you can't escape reality, regardless of what the world say reality is. Your reality for self is totally different. So when I say I'm back in therapy, I'm back in therapy. And I tend to, when these type of things happen, like that imposter syndrome, that is the main emotion that I suppress. And it's the emotion is like the negative emotions. You know what I mean? You can't really suppress negative emotions. You have to embrace them sometimes. And I suppress negative emotions simply because I'm a go-getter. If I could do it, I can do it. So I'm gonna do it. However, when you've battled with, like, y'all, sorry, my stand almost fell. When you battle with like insecurity and weight issues and trauma from your childhood, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff. Like, I am not all the way okay upstairs, and I'm sharing my journey with y'all, and that's pretty much what I'm doing here. And long story short, like, my background, I was adopted when I was 3, grew up in foster care, parents gone, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't come from that whatever they say was normal, you know what I'm saying? And later on down the line, I'll be sharing my stories with y'all. But just think about pushing yourself to, do what you gotta do all the time when you never were able to address the issues in life. And it's like, you gotta keep going. So now that I've gotten to a point in life where I am comfortable with myself, all of those things that I suppressed have resurfaced. You know what I mean? All of those emotions have resurfaced. All of that trauma dealing with people has resurfaced. So that's what I've been dealing with, because I have to clean that slate in order to move where I'm going. And I know I'm going where I'm going because I have the opportunity to clean the slate now. So that's just what it was. And like I said, the conversation before that had just brung out those emotions. And I am learning because I am reading. So this book is called Attached, and I like to read self-help books because it helps me understand my toxic traits and my personality traits that are good and bad. And self-help books kind of help you get your mind right upstairs, you know. This book is called Attached. It's the new science of adult attached and how it can help you find and keep love. Now, I'm not reading it necessarily to find or keep love, but what it does is this book talks about the 3 attachment styles that we carry, and it's anxious, avoidant, and secure. And technically, I have all these attachment issues. So if we are like, rather like with my kids, a relationship, work, I have all 3. And those, some of them are self-sabotaging. Like the avoidant and the anxious is self-sabotaging, because you can't get, like, when I don't get my way, I get upset. So I go into avoidant mode. So basically, when I don't get my way, I go into avoidant mode, meaning like I cut your ass off and I don't care. Like, I just don't care how you feel about it, and I avoid whatever situation, because if I know it ain't gonna go my way, I ain't gonna deal with it. And as you mature as an adult, that's not always healthy, because you're blocking yourself from advancing in certain areas simply because you're being avoidant, and that's pure self-sabotage. And then anxious, it says people are often preoccupied with their relationships and tend to worry about their partner's ability to love them back. I'm an anxious person when it comes to relationships, because I've dealt and am dealing with insecurity issues that was brought up when I was a child. I got, as a child, back in the day in the 90s, you old school, like, shoot, even to this day, like, people don't understand what they do to you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody understands. That's why I try to have healthy relationships and conversations with my kids about, you know, the power of the mind, because people don't understand. Like, we live in a time where we're constantly trying to perfect ourselves. We're constantly trying to be something other than what we are, to where it's like, you don't know who the fuck you are, because the world is always telling you to change something up, and oh, it needs to look like this and it needs to look like that, or you need to be this way in order to be successful. And the masses, the number of the masses, like the more of the people, the more it becomes a believable trait. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that brainwashing system. So growing up, at a young age, I always challenged stuff that was just didn't make sense to me. Like, why we can't be ourselves? We own our own bodies. Why we can't have control of our own bodies? Like, why we can't accept our noses? Why we can't be accepted because our hair? Why we gotta be ridiculed because of the shape of our bodies? Like, they talk about the struggles of the black man, but the black woman is struggling just as much, and if not 10 times harder, because she carries the weight of him and ourselves. Like, we carry the weight of the world, because no matter where we go, it's either we getting fetishized by, you know, our partners, or, you know, we're being torn down by them, because, you know what I'm saying, like, it, and then the world does it, you know what I'm saying? You hear it in music, you gotta have a flat stomach, fat ass, little waist, you know what I'm saying? And then growing up with that, you be like, oh, didn't get teased for that. And then not only that, becoming an adult and having kids and bouncing back to having it, to be asked if you have a BBL. Like, I don't catch breaks, you know? So I go into hermit mode, and I really just deal with myself, because it's frustrating. It's frustrating trying to have a group of friends when everybody's fixated on being perfected or looking like an Instagram model, and we damn near 40. Like, don't nobody got time for that no more. And it's been making life exhausting. So I go into hermit mode, and I go into self, and I work on myself. So I always read self-help books, because I have to learn my patterns when it comes to engaging with people. And right now, like I said, I'm on a clean slate of change. So I have opportunities to make different type of friends as to where I'm trying to go to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just done with the glamorous so-called lifestyle. Like, that's fraudulent to me. So I just I fall back from it, and I be myself, you know what I'm saying? And my thing is that's real to me. Like, why aren't people pushing to be their authentic selves? Why are we constantly trying to follow trends and keep up with fashion trends and keep up with the Joneses when it makes you unhappy and it makes you depressed and it makes you're suppressing your true self. Like, I feel like I'm suppressing my soul when I'm trying to live like the world, when I'm trying to keep up with the latest, greatest. I'm suppressing my true soul and creativity. Like, what I love peace and silence. Like, I could go sit out at that bayou for a whole 2 hours because it's quiet and I will be so happy. I could go sit, I could go read this book for an hour and I would be so happy. What's wrong with that? Why do people have a problem with that? Oh, because you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that, and da-da-da-da-da, you lame, you this. I'll be that. So, like I said, I got back into therapy because I'm just tired. You're tired. And it makes life harder when people be on that, when they have that mindset, when they have the small mindset of reality. I feel like our health is important, and when the mindset is fixated on the ego, and the difference between the ego to me is the ego is driven by the world. The ego is where you get your fashion, your food style, the styles of the car, and that's what the ego is attracted to, that type of stuff. Me, I don't operate out of ego. I literally operate out of spirit. And because I operate out of spirit, which is my soul, I am combative to the world. So yes, I always end up having friction relationships with friends, family members, co-workers. It's always a friction. I'm the drama. I'm the drama. Simply because I don't rock with that. Like, I'm an all natural person and I embrace that, and I don't be caring for people to try to force change on me simply because I want to accept myself. I already went there. I've been there, done that. Did the weave, did the dressing and the makeup and all that. It's optional. It's not an everyday choice. So, like I said, the conversation was basically about dating, and the person that I was talking to, we were basically talking about how, a certain aesthetic is acquired for, a certain type of man, and I'm like, no, I don't think that should be necessary. Like, that makes no sense. And, it just kind of went further and further, and then it was just like, I'm going to agree to disagree, and we end the call, And then, of course, I got to reading my Bible, and it talked about wisdom, and it talks about how wisdom, the Most High created her simply for the idea of beauty, and, without a man, I'm kind of getting confused. Sorry, I don't want to go down that road. But anyways, basically, wisdom is a woman, the Most High is a man. And that's what is understood in the Bible. So when I read that, I was like, oh, okay. Exactly what I felt when I was having that conversation with that other person, to agree to disagree. So I just kind of got back into that. I know this is a rant, but I was just letting y'all know, start reading, start learning yourself, spend enough time in solitude to where you learn yourself. This is not a paid advertisement. I did buy this book on my own, random disclaimer, but I had to put that out there. But yeah, start really learning yourself and stop allowing projection of other people to create your personality. Because yeah, I'm battling with some dark personalities because of the world. And if you really are intuitive with yourself, you will understand, you should be able to understand your sabotage traits, your good traits, and then your traits that kind of balance you. You should be, if you're in tune with yourself. But a lot of people aren't in tune. It's too many adults with child minds. It's too many. And as you can see, over the years, these generations have blended so much that you can't tell a 20-year-old from a 40-year-old no more. And that's scary and it's sad. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working on myself to mature, to be at the level of elegancy that I am requiring for myself, because I feel like in my past life, I definitely came from royalty. I don't care what nobody say. I for sure came from royalty in my past life. I do believe in reincarnation, so I think in my past life I came from royalty, and that's why I battle with this times, because it's not cracked up what everybody wanted to be cracked up to be, but it is what it is. But yeah, y'all, this is another level of self-love. It's another level of self-love. It's another level of growth. And I always tell my kids, if you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're not living. You know what I mean? A lot of people are very stagnant with the 9 to 5, the partying, and receiving whatever we get. Too many people are comfortable with that. And the thing is, look at the world. Like, look at the world. We don't know how to farm. We ain't got no farms. They giving us fake food and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is challenging. So if we keep relying on them, what the hell is we gonna get? So my whole thing is, I am trying to put myself in a place where I can learn to live without. All right. So if y'all would be, drop the purple hearts in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe. I thank y'all so much for watching. I will be back hopefully this week with better videos. Open up. Like, I'm expressing. It ain't easy. Like, I battle with depression. Because, like I said, I be in 2 different time zones. Like, I be in 2 different worlds. So I just have been, if I ever go quiet, y'all know why. I've actually started YouTube so that I can groom myself to be more open to the world and not deal with the depressions that I deal with, because my soul is suppressed. But I'm gonna live through my soul, and that's just what y'all go get. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. I hope y'all have a great week, and please learn to live authentically and be yourselves and love yourself, because nobody's gonna really give you true love besides you. Like, the last 3 years, my friend, I was able to learn my love language. I didn't know my love language. I know my love language is all acts of services. Like, all acts of services, like all 4 love languages is mine. And I didn't know that until I was dealing with him. And we ended up bumping heads, and I was like, wow, I poured all my love into you and I have nothing left. And for the first time, I was able to recognize my love. So because of that, I'm like, I want all my love back. And I realized people are not responsible for giving you that type of love. You're actually responsible for giving yourself that type of love. If you give your love away, yeah, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't receive it back. So that's another thing. Like, I have removed myself from so many things, so many people, and so many mindsets simply because I want to receive what I put out. And without me receiving that, I don't deal with you. So that's where that avoidant attachment comes in, and that leaves a lot of relationships bad. But like I said, I don't be caring. I don't be caring. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna end this because I got some stuff to do. And yeah, y'all should be on the same journey, like, to becoming your authentic selves. Okay, so with that being said, peace. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.